I just finished reading a novel. The title was Thoughtless by S.C. Stevens. I actually tried to look for what the S and the C stands for so that I could get her full names, but from the one page I searched, none of the results were showing her full names, including her own page, like the bio page. So I'm just going to call her S.C. Stevens or Miss Stevens or Mrs. Stevens. So anyway, I just finished reading one of her books, and wow, it was a big bowl of emotions on the characters, especially Kiera, the main character. So to summarize the book, it starts with Kiera. She has her boyfriend. He's called Denny, and they are dating at the beginning. They are very happy, and then Denny moves to Washington for a job. Kiera follows him, but on a scholarship to study, and she's still studying. This guy is already trying to get a job, so he lands a job. She is in college. Actually, she's not yet starting, but they stay at a friend's place. So this is Denny's friend. So Denny's friend, Denny had stayed with him and their parent. Okay, the friend is called Kellan. So Denny had stayed at Kellan's place and the parents when they were still young, and they actually had a history. So when this guy was I'm moving that side, the guy is no, you know what, you can come and stay with me since I have the whole house to myself and my roommate moved out. So this guy moves in with his girlfriend into this guy's house, whereby there are 2 bedrooms, there's 1 shower, and everything else is shared. But the roommate is a hot guitar player that is in a band. So Killan is a band guy. He is, he's hot as hell, as all these characters are. And then Danny Vambi is the normal hustler. I think he was from Australia. He had an accent. So anyway, then he gets himself a good internship, and then after that they require him to fly to another place, so he has to leave his girlfriend with this guy, and that's when the problems start. So this guy start getting close as this guy is away. They start Kellan starts taking the chick to school, then they start holding hands, and then they start cuddling on the couch, and then because she was also a side note, she got a job at the bar that this guy usually plays at some nights, just because she wanted to find something to do and then to get her income. Anyway, and you can't blame her. So through all this, these guys are getting tight. What? This guy is away. She is missing him, and yeah, things start to happen with this guy. And then I don't remember which one came first in the novel, because I just have the story. They make out, and then she actually breaks up with Denny on the phone, and then sleeps with this guy. And then Denny that very night is like, oh man, I need to fix this with my girl. He quits his internship that is very good and flies back home. So the morning this chick wakes up in this guy's room and everything like that. In the morning this guy comes back, and I'm like, wow, this is going to be interesting. So this guy left a good job, a very good job for his chick, and then he comes back and he starts to be moody, obviously, because he had to choose one or lose the other, and he chose her and lost the job. So obviously he's trying to get back another job. He gets another one, and it's very, sorry to swear, but shitty, and wow, he's just a lot different than when he went. And she was saying, man, he may be there, getting interested in other guys, other chicks, not guys, although it's possible. And this side, he was also, bottom line is he comes back, he's around more. This guy starts sneaking around. So at the end of the book, anyway, she ends up saying she's in love with Kellan, and then Denny has to lose his girl. But for the whole time this guy was back, they were actively going behind his back and everything. So they were actively cheating on the guy, behind his back. And the book just got me thinking about this whole active cheating thing that I want to coin in this episode. The kind where someone is fully aware of their feelings for person X but still chooses to pursue them while being with person Y. You know, what's really going on when you feel like you like someone but want someone else? You know the straightforward answer to this would be you don't love them. You are clearly after someone else, but then we all know it's not always that clear, and emotions are emotions. It gets complicated. And trust me, I have read books where one of the partners cheated, they get caught or worked it out, and they are happy for the rest of their lives. Others, it spirals down, and then they either kill themselves or something. It turns into a murder mystery. I mean, there is a whole variation of how cheating ends, and it's interesting, isn't it? Or am I just weird? I guess we will find out soon. So let's get into the episode. Wow, that was a long intro. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the 5 to 9 Job podcast. Today's topic is a little different, but we are still going to break it down. And it's all about relationships, cheating, and why people act differently when it comes to infidelity. So I decided to do this podcast because I am always doing at least a segment about relationships in the bonuses that I do. And this book just, wow, it just, trust me, when you read the whole story and go with it, not the way I tried to summarize it, and trust me, I didn't do it justice, but when you read the book and you're like, okay, but it got me thinking anyway. And I just wanted to share my thoughts. So when cheaters are caught, they always have a reason and an excuse. And likewise, that's where I started. I was throwing these questions at ChatGPT as my honorary therapist, and this is what we were able to discuss. And actually, I'm just going to share a lot from my chat with ChatGPT, and then what I was remembering from the book and how I was relating it with life. So this is like a masterclass level kind of, you know, therapy session for all of you, and a discussion, maybe just a debate. Why do people cheat? Because cheating isn't black and white, it's complex because emotions are involved, like I said, unmet needs, and sometimes it's just bad decisions. So here are some of the common theories about why people cheat, or about infidelity. Sorry to call it a big word, but yeah, infidelity. One is the grass is greener syndrome. So some people cheat because they think they are missing out. They look at person X and think, this is what I need to feel alive. It's about chasing something new, exciting, or forbidden for them. So it's just this the grass is greener kind of syndrome. So they are trying to chase something better, or they think they will get something better. That's one. And then two, unmet needs. So maybe something is missing in the current relationship. Maybe it's emotional connection, physical intimacy, or validation. Instead of addressing these issues, some people just seek fulfillment elsewhere. So unmet needs, they have not talked about it, they just go in search of them. And then two is fear of commitment. So for some, cheating is a way to sabotage a relationship they are already in, but are not, or are afraid of fully committing to. It's like keeping one foot out the door just in case. So it's fear of commitment. It's they are there. They are confused. I might actually be in this category, but let's go on. Okay. Power and control is four. So unfortunately, some cheat as a way to exert control or feel powerful. It's it's this bad boys, bad girls, what kind of stereotype, but it's less about love and more about feeding their egos, and feeling like they are the dominant one in the relationship, something like that. So five is impulse and opportunity. Sometimes it's not planned. Man, people find themselves in the heat of the moment where impulse overrides logic, and boop, things happen. And then six, attachment styles. So how we were raised and our emotional needs also kind of play a role into this. I don't know if a lot of people relate to this one, but people with avoidant attachment styles may cheat to avoid intimacy, while those with anxious styles, like they're anxious all the time, they fear losing you or what, and everything like that, may do it out of fear or insecurity. So the 6 reasons, just to go through them once again, is the grass is greener syndrome. One, and then two, unmet needs. Three, fear of commitment. Four, power and control. Five, impulse and opportunity. Six, attachment styles. And those were some of the reasons we came up with, and we went into detail with some of them. I particularly remember asking if any of them are valid, and I saw ChatGPT being very careful. So we won't go into that because we were kind of debating where the line is on when it's acceptable to cheat with that style or with that reason, and then when it's not. But we won't go into that. But it was very interesting to kind of see what ChatGPT was able to give me. Although I say it was careful because it was it was kind of massaging the topic because I know it is restrained in what it gives out. But yeah, but we were able to have a very broad conversation. I mean, we were cross-referencing from my life, from the book itself, and actually various other books. But since this one is fresh in my mind, what was happening in this story was like really heartbreaking for Denny, regardless that he didn't know till the end. I mean, in Thoughtless, Kiara is the main character, and it's a she. So she is emotionally torn, but still actively chooses to pursue Killan while being with Denny. And this is what I am calling the active cheating. It's not a one-time mistake. It's this deliberate decision to, desire someone else. And what I saw from the book that ChatGPT helped me put in more clear wording for how she justified it to herself was this: that people justify their actions by saying, I'm in love with two people, or I can't help how I feel. I mean, red flag, by the way, just side note, red flag. I mean, active cheaters often compartmentalize their lives. They act like one person with Y and then another person with X, convincing themselves that it's okay since they can't help how they feel. She had from the book, she had a bad side, a kind of fun side, a Kiera side for Killan, and then she had a Denny kind of version of we do this and this, and she was, you could visualize it in words, a different person with Denny, more of a good girl, but then with Killan she was more daring and more stubborn. So anyway, the whole adrenaline of sneaking around, it was creating this addictive loop that just made her want more, it made it harder to stop sneaking off to his bedroom in the middle of the night while I mean, Denny is in the bedroom, in the bed with her. She sneaks off to Kellen's room. And then every morning she would get up early just because Kellen was an early rise, and then Denny used to get up late. So these guys would be down, not like doing anything much, but they would be spending time together in the morning before Denny got up. I mean, that's the whole adrenaline of sneaking around that creates that addictive loop of you can even get up early after sleeping late and bartending just so that you could spend time with this person and then get back from school earlier just to spend more time with them. So if you are cheating and thinking about it, or have cheated, or they have cheated on you before, I hope they aren't currently doing so or are planning to. But a good sign is that the person will start to act differently. The whole being distant, sneaking off, sad when they are with you, it can't be helped. Relationships literally bring out different sides of us, and that's how you see this whole compartmentalization. And then trust me when I say that relationships bring out different sides of us, whether they are currently happening or it has ended and another one is starting. You'll be a different person from one relationship to another. The same person who is loyal and committed in one relationship can act completely different in another, just because of a different reason, just because the other person or the new person is different. I, I don't know if you get that, but the reason why people act differently, one that we were able to conjure up was the dynamics of the relationship. So Every relationship has its own energy. If person Y brings out insecurities, mistrust, or boredom, it creates space for infidelity. Now, like in the case of the book, if Danny was bringing up those feelings, then there would be another kind of energy that Killan was bringing out, which was safety energy and being available. And then, two, it brings this self perception. People often act based on how they see themselves in a relationship. If they feel underappreciated and unattractive or stuck, they may seek that validation elsewhere, or they start to act unavailable to you because they are already unappreciated. Like he doesn't want to see me, so I'll just also not be around, something like that. They start to act differently. And then boundaries and communications. Relationships with weak boundaries or poor communication are more vulnerable to cheating just because it's easier to justify bad behavior when you know things feel undefined and you don't talk about them. So all these are going to kind of, or in the book, built this whole, stew of the right environment for this chick to cheat. And the unsurprising section that I picked out from one of my chats with OpenAI was that cheating often reveals more about the cheater than the relationship itself. It's more of a reflection of the person cheating. It highlights their fears, insecurities, unmet needs, because it's all still a choice. The whole thing that I had no choice, I just felt I couldn't help myself. If they have given you that excuse, or you have given that kind of excuse, it's full of s and star star star. I mean, it's so full of it. It's all a choice to avoid the hard conversations, a choice to hurt someone, a choice to take the easy way out, a choice to indulge yourself, instead of addressing the problems head on. It's a hard truth, but on this one, I agreed with ChatGPT. Cheating is always a choice. You can't say I couldn't help myself. No, you could definitely say no. You could definitely leave the room. You could definitely help yourself. So, if you have ever been cheated on, here is what I wanted you to remember, that it's not your fault. Cheating is a reflection of the other person's choices, not your worth. I know there is this whole thing of trying to say I led him to, or her to eat by doing X, Y, or Z, but it's finally at the end of it their own decision whether you have led them or not. They're the ones who pull their pants down, or even in other ways, because cheating has like very many forms. So if you are the one who cheated, take responsibility. Ask yourself the hard questions. Why did you do it? What were you running from? What needs to change in you to avoid repeating that same pattern? Because trust me, if you did it one more time, you start to justify it to yourself more and more into the next relationships, like you carry that forward. And what scared me the most about this whole story, by the way, or the novel, was how it's very possible that the same can happen to any of us, as any of the characters anyway. I mean, you could be the one they are cheating with, you could be the one they are cheating on, you could be the one cheating. And I definitely know that cheating is never easy to talk about, but it's something many of us have experienced in, okay, not many of us, but some of us have experienced and could benefit more from talking about it. And that's why I'm making this weird episode. So yeah, at the end of all this, my expert therapist encouraged me to strive for relationships where I don't need secrets, where we face the challenges head on, and where love is built on trust, not convenience. At least that's what I hope I will be able to achieve. And but that's literally the advice that, it sounds so funny saying it, but ChatGPT gave me. Anyway, I will leave you with this thought. What is true love? I believe that true love is not about perfection. It's not about finding this perfect person that is going to match your every box and, tick all your ballot papers. No, it's going to be about the work that you put into the relationship and whether the other person is willing to put in that very work, willing to make it work. It's about showing up every day for the person you have chosen. even when it is hard, it remains a choice that you make every day and you stick with it. Well, okay, I'm starting to sound like ChatGPT actually. Anyway, for everyone that has listened to this very weird episode, thank you for listening to the 5 to 9 Job podcast. If this episode in some weird way resonated with you, share it with someone. It could be an ex. Let them know. If they cheated on you, send it to them. Let me lecture them for you. You deserve to have closure. I am going to give you what you deserve. I am going to help them. And if you're the one I was lecturing, man, next time better. Anyway, share it with everyone else. Please like and subscribe and let me know, what's your take on infidelity. Let's keep the conversation going and I will see you in the next episode. I remain Raymond from the 5 to 9 Job podcast. Bye-bye.